Imagine someone walks up to you 1,400 years ago, no internet, no satellites, no global news, and he described in detail exactly what the world would look like today. He talk about skyscrapers. He talk about wars. He talk about the breakdown of families, the spread of music and alcohol, rivers running dry, and even the earth giving up its secrets from underground. Now imagine that person wasn't a scientist, wasn't a futurist, wasn't some kind of genius philosopher. He was a man in 7th century Arabia, and according to Muslim belief, and to tens of millions of researchers, historians, and ordinary people who've looked into this, almost everything he described is either already here or is actively unfolding right now. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not fear-mongering. This is documented Islamic theology, recorded in some of the most meticulously preserved historical texts in all of human civilization. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to look at the world very differently. Let's start from the beginning. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, lived from around 570 to 632 CE in the Arabian Peninsula. According to Islamic tradition, he received revelation from God over 23 years, and those revelations became the Quran. But alongside the Quran, he also spoke. He gave advice, warnings, described future events. Those words were collected by his companions, verified, cross-checked, and compiled into what scholars call the hadith, a body of literature that historians, including non-Muslim academics, recognize as one of the most carefully documented oral traditions in history. According to Dr. Jonathan Brown, a scholar of Islamic studies at Georgetown University, the science of hadith preservation is unparalleled. Companions memorized, transmitted, and verified these sayings with chains of narrators going back directly to the Prophet himself. Now, within those sayings, the Prophet described something very specific. He described the Ashraat al-Sa'ah, the signs of the hour, the signs that would appear before the day of judgment. And these signs fall into two categories: the minor signs, things that would gradually unfold over centuries, and the major signs, dramatic, world-altering events that would signal the very end. Today, we're focusing on the minor signs, because frankly, the minor signs are the ones that are making people stop and stare. Let's start with something that sounds almost too simple. The Prophet reportedly said, and this is recorded in Sahih Bukhari, one of the most authenticated hadith collections in existence, that one of the signs of the judgment day is that time will pass quickly. Now I know what you're thinking. Every generation says time goes by fast. But consider this. We live in the most distracted, overstimulated, fast-paced era in human history. A week flies by, months blur into each other. You blink and it's December again. According to psychologists like Dr. Claudia Hammond, author of Time Warped, our perception of time genuinely has accelerated in modern life due to the sheer density of information and events we process daily. The Prophet also said that knowledge would be taken away and ignorance would prevail. Wait, we live in the information age. How can ignorance prevail? Think about it. We have access to more information than any generation before us. And yet, misinformation spreads faster than truth. People are more divided, more confused, more manipulated than ever. According to the Reuters Institute Digital News Report, trust in mainstream media has fallen to historic lows globally. People don't know what to believe. Religious knowledge specifically, the kind of knowledge the Prophet was referring to, has declined sharply even in Muslim-majority countries, according to Pew Research studies on global Muslim practices. That's exactly what was described. Now here's where it gets fascinating and a little uncomfortable. The Prophet, peace be upon him, reportedly said in a hadith recorded in Sahih Muslim, "The hour will not come until the Euphrates uncovers a mountain of gold, and people will fight over it." The Euphrates River. That's in modern-day Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Here's the thing. The Euphrates is drying up. According to a 2021 report by the United Nations Environment Program, the Euphrates has lost over 40% of its water volume in recent decades due to dam construction upstream in Turkey and climate change. As the river recedes, it is literally exposing the ground beneath it. There are already reports of ancient ruins, artifacts, and yes, mineral deposits being uncovered as the water levels drop. We are not at the mountain of gold yet, but the river is drying. The stage is being set. And if you know the history of that region, Iraq, Syria, Turkey, you already know that when resources appear in that land, conflict follows. The prophecy doesn't just describe an event. It describes human nature colliding with geography at a specific moment in time. Let's keep going. The prophet also reportedly said, recorded in Sunan Ibn Majah, that earthquakes will increase as the hour approaches. According to the United States Geological Survey, the number of major earthquakes magnitude 7.0 and above recorded globally has increased significantly in awareness and detection over the past 2 decades. Some seismologists debate whether this is real increase or better measurement technology, but communities across Turkey, Morocco, Afghanistan, Syria, Japan, and dozens of other nations have experienced devastating quakes in rapid succession in recent years. In 2023 alone, the Turkey-Syria earthquake killed over 50,000 people. The frequency of major seismic events is undeniable to anyone watching the news. Here's the part of the prophecies that doesn't require any science degree to verify. You just have to look around you. The prophet reportedly said, in narrations collected in Sahih Bukhari, that among the signs of the hour would be widespread adultery, the consumption of alcohol becoming normalized, musical instruments becoming ubiquitous, and women being dressed but appearing naked. Now set aside the religious judgment for a second and just look at this objectively. We live in a world where the global music industry is worth over $26 billion annually, according to the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry. Music is everywhere, in every pocket, every earphone, every elevator and restaurant and advertisement on Earth. The normalization of alcohol? According to the World Health Organization, alcohol is the most widely consumed psychoactive substance on Earth, with over 2.3 billion users globally. And the description of women being dressed but appearing naked? Walk through any shopping mall. Scroll through any social media platform. The fashion industry has literally created a category called barely their clothing. This isn't a moral lecture. This is just the observation of a reality that the prophet described with remarkable precision 14 centuries ago. But here's the sign that genuinely stops people in their tracks. According to a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, the prophet said, "The slave woman will give birth to her mistress." Scholars and commentators, including the classical scholar Imam al-Nawawi, have interpreted this in multiple ways. One of the most widely accepted interpretations is that children will come to dominate their parents, that the parent-child relationship will be inverted, that children will no longer respect or obey their elders. Does that sound familiar? According to a 2022 Pew Research study on family dynamics in the United States, over 60% of parents report feeling they have less authority over their children than their own parents had over them. Parental authority is collapsing globally. The elderly are increasingly isolated, ignored, and placed in care homes rather than honored in family settings. The family structure, as it was known for thousands of years, is being restructured from the ground up. This next one is my personal favorite, because it's so specific that it's almost impossible to explain away. In a famous and lengthy hadith, known as the Hadith of Jibril, recorded in both Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet was asked directly about the signs of the hour. His response included this: "You will see the barefoot, naked, destitute shepherds competing in constructing tall buildings." Think about that. Barefoot shepherds, competing to build the tallest structures. Now look at the Arabian Peninsula today. The nations of the Gulf, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, were, within living memory, desert territories where nomadic Bedouin tribes herded camels and goats across open sands. These were not wealthy societies. These were people living in tents and simple mud brick homes as recently as the mid-20th century. Today, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai stands at 828 meters, the tallest building on Earth. Saudi Arabia is currently building the Line, a futuristic city that stretches 170 kilometers through the desert. According to Forbes, the UAE alone has more skyscrapers per capita than almost any nation on Earth. And the competition aspect? Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower is being built to surpass the Burj Khalifa. Qatar spent over $200 billion on infrastructure for the 2022 World Cup. These nations are quite literally competing to build the most impressive structures in human history. The Prophet described this. Specifically, 1400 years ago, when the Arabian Peninsula was one of the most undeveloped regions on Earth. How do you explain that? Let's talk about something heavier. The Prophet reportedly said, in narrations collected across multiple hadith sources, that among the signs of the hour would be the prevalence of al-Harj, widespread killing, and that the killer would not know why he killed, and the victim would not know why they were killed. Senseless violence. Mass killings without clear motive or purpose. According to the Global Peace Index published annually by the Institute for Economics and Peace, the world has become measurably less peaceful over the past 2 decades. Mass shootings, ethnic cleansing, drone strikes, terror attacks, gang warfare. The pattern of indiscriminate, seemingly senseless killing has become a defining feature of modern civilization. The phrase, "he won't know why he killed," and "the victim won't know why he was killed," reads almost like a description of radicalized lone wolf attackers, of random mass shootings, of sectarian violence where entire communities don't even know how the war they're trapped in started. The Prophet also reportedly warned about fitna, widespread tribulation and civil conflict, spreading from the east. Historians and Islamic scholars have long noted that the most severe modern conflicts, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Pakistan, have indeed originated or been concentrated in the eastern regions relative to Arabia. According to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, these regions account for a disproportionate share of global conflict casualties. There are a few prophecies that scholars discuss in hushed tones, not because they're unclear, but because they're so on the nose that stating them plainly makes people uncomfortable. The Prophet reportedly said that among the signs would be that a man will obey his wife and disobey his mother, that he will treat his friend kindly and distance himself from his father. This isn't a political statement. This is a sociological description of a family structure where the nuclear unit replaces the extended family, where spousal relationships are prioritized over parental bonds. This is the dominant social model across the Western world and increasingly everywhere else. According to sociologist Robert Putnam in his landmark work Bowling Alone, social isolation and the breakdown of extended community bonds is one of the defining crises of modern life. The extended family, the tribe, the village, has been replaced by the nuclear household, and in many cases, even that is fragmenting. The Prophet also reportedly said that trust will be lost, that you will look for a trustworthy man and not find one. Read the news on any given day. Government corruption, corporate fraud, fake news, catfishing, scam calls, deep fakes. We are living through an era where trust in institutions, in media, in each other, has reached a historical low. The Edelman Trust Barometer 2023 found that trust in government, business, media, and NGOs remains critically low across most of the world. Now, to be fair and honest, because that matters, not all the signs have come to pass. And any serious Islamic scholar will tell you this. The major signs, like the appearance of the Mahdi, the return of Jesus, or Isa, peace be upon him, the emergence of Dajjal, the rising of the sun from the west, the beast of the earth, these have not occurred. And according to Islamic theology, when they begin, events will move fast. There are also minor signs that remain disputed or unclear in their fulfillment. The conquest of Constantinople in some interpretations has already occurred, but scholars debate others. According to Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi and other contemporary Islamic scholars, we are in a period where many minor signs have accumulated, not all of them, but enough to be remarkable. And the accumulation itself is part of what the Prophet described, a gradual buildup, like a necklace whose thread breaks and the beads fall one by one. The honest scholarly position is this: we don't know when the hour is. The Prophet himself said that knowledge of its exact timing belongs to God alone. But the signs? The signs were given precisely so that people would not be caught completely unaware. This question matters beyond religion. If you are a historian, you have to grapple with the fact that these prophecies were recorded in a pre-literate desert society 1,400 years ago with a level of sociological, geopolitical, and even environmental precision that defies simple explanation. If you are a scientist, you have to look at the Euphrates drying up, the increase in seismic activity, the environmental degradation described in these texts, and ask, how was this known? If you are a philosopher or a person simply searching for meaning in a chaotic world, there is something profound about the idea that the chaos you see around you is expected, that it was foretold, that it isn't random, that there is a narrative arc to human history. According to Karen Armstrong, a noted religious historian and author of A History of God, the prophetic traditions of the Abrahamic faith share a common impulse: to give meaning to suffering and disorder by placing it within a larger moral and spiritual framework. Whether you are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, or hold no religious belief at all, the existence of these remarkably accurate ancient texts forces a serious question. Was this knowledge? Was it luck? Or was it something else entirely? Look, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. That's your journey. But I will say this. In a world where everything feels like it's spinning out of control, where you can't trust the news, where wars are breaking out, where the weather is going haywire, where families are falling apart and no one seems to know why, there is something almost comforting about the idea that someone saw all of this coming. Not as a reason to give up, not as a reason to be afraid, but as a reason to pay attention. Because the same texts that describe the signs of the hour also describe what a human being is supposed to do during those times. How to hold on. How to live with integrity when the world around you is losing its mind. That part of the tradition is just as rich and just as relevant. If this video made you think, drop a comment below. Tell me which sign surprised you the most. Share this with someone who needs to see it. And if you want me to go deeper on any of these, the major signs, the story of the Mahdi, the prophecies about specific nations and regions, let me know and I'll make that next. Hit subscribe, because this is the kind of content that doesn't find you on the algorithm. You have to go looking for it. And if you found it today, maybe that means something too.